Hello. Oh wait, where do we have sound? We have sound. Mute that. Mute that. Mute that. And mute that. Hello, and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 475, coming to you live from somewhere, nowhere, New York. We're talking about Station 3 DeFi Day. This is really weird, talking to two cameras at once. Did a little bit of house cleaning today, just a little bit. I don't want to set any expectations that this is something that I do regularly, because, you know, for all of you people out there, I like to keep the bar low. So you're never impressed by anything. It works in my favor, I think. But because of this, we're able to set up our cameras in two different locations. And so it's like you get to see the side of me and the first, or the side of me. 360 taco. No, I'm just having way too much fun. I think I might have had a little bit too much energy drinks tonight, but I don't think that that's the case. I think really what has me going is how cool the night was. We got to talk listen to four different amazing protocols that are building out DeFi, that are building out and setting the future for DeFi on chain, permissionless, trustless, and just sort of like an interesting aspect, and it's, you're like, well, what's the holdup? Why is this not mainstream yet? And I don't know. I don't have that answer. But what we were going to do is we are going to sort of showcase what those protocols are and why. And really quickly, maybe I'm so happy is because the simple fact that Solana's at $71 right now. It's nope, it's at 72.57, and it is going up. So yeah. Woohoo! And there's the Jito airdrop today, which is really helping push networks pieces. There's just been a lot of cool stuff happening in Solana. And I posted about this yesterday, and I've been talking about it for a while, and no one seemed to listen. I kept mentioning Solana and Polkadot for some reason, and lo and behold, Solana launched Sol on Polkadot today on Moonbeam. So one of Solana's first ventures into the EVM world is into Polkadot. That opens it up for the entire Polkadot ecosystem, whether it is an EVM chain or not. But it also then allows it to go into the rest of the EVM world. So you can then bridge that from Moonbeam into ETH. You can bridge it over to Polygon, BSC, Arbitrum, Optimism, Godwoke chain, or over into the Cosmos ecosystem, because Moonbeam is that powerful and that cool of an EVM layer. Why does no one like it? Because it is just simply a smart contract language chain. But that's really cool because it allows DeFi to sort of work really, really good there. It's not quick. It's 30 seconds, but it's cheap, And so, yeah, I really hope that you are enjoying some really cool things. Oh, darn it. We will be right back. We split open our finger again. We thought we had solved this issue. This is what happens when Taco cleans. He hurts himself. This is why Taco doesn't clean. We'll be right back. We're not able to mute anything, so please, if I hurt myself and I scream like a girl, don't yell at me. All right? I'll be right back. Gosh darn it. All right. Mic is hot. And we are back for some multi-vision pieces. We had to go big or go home because the Band-Aid we had earlier just didn't seem to cut it. Or, well, you know, we wore out its welcome. We split open our finger pretty good earlier. We don't even, you know. So, what we're going to be talking about tonight, we're going to be talking about Station 3. An amazing piece sort of built out there down at 26 Broadway here in New York. And what happens there? What is Station 3? Station 3 is pretty much a WeWorks for Web3 people. Now, we used to have Empire DAO in New York. You know, we all know what happened there. Or, and if you don't, that is too long of a night to. We don't have enough time tonight to go through all of what went on there. But the idea, the concept, the behind what happened there is you know, the idea behind, concept behind Station 3, pretty cool. So what are we going to see here? Let's see. Whew. So what are we going to be talking about? We are going to be talking about what happened at Station 3 tonight. So we got to meet some really cool protocols. Like I said, first off, we're going to go safer to safer to a little bit of more DeFi. So Goldfinch, the founder, was there. You know, private credit, you know, basically this was like taking your on-chain and just really just sort of working that aspect to make about 10% a year, you know, safe. You know, you're not doing a lot of stuff with your money. Just, you know, simple yield. And it's really interesting to sort of see, you know, what they're building out. You know, they're really sort of working at just providing that long-term piece to you, so that you have your money sort of being golden. You know, we think you know, they're on chain. They're SEC registered robo advisor. So you know, it's really interesting to see what Goldfinch Protocol is building out. I want you to take a look at them, and I think that you might find some really cool things there. You know, and so getting private credit on chain can be a hard piece. This is one of those things that allows that start of it, and it's putting your finance, your stuff to work on chain. And I really like what they're building out. They're really doing it sort of clean. You know, it takes that degen piece out of it. Savvy DeFi was the other person that we had speaking tonight at Station 3. Savvy DeFi is built on Arbitrum. What they are sort of doing is they're doing like on-chain credit, but they're giving it to you in advance. Let's say you take $100, you put it into Savvy DeFi. You're putting that into a yield strategy through multiple different players like Taurus, Beefy, or on the other hand, Curve, and so it's earning yield. What happens then is you're given on-chain credit. So it's an over-collateralized loan. So let's say you borrow $50. Now that yield, that $100 is now working for you because you took a loan for $50. The yield that you're earning on that 100 is now paying off your loan. So it's basically you're getting your yield up front. One of the cool features that they're building into it is moving. What's the word I'm thinking of? Moving strategies. So you don't have to unwrap your protocol. If a different strategy, yield-bearing strategy opens up that's better, that provides more yield, it's going to do some really cool stuff. Now, one of the really cool things is they're getting a huge Trader Joe Arbitrum. So those that have been using it are going to be getting a really cool distribution from Trader Joe and from Arbitrum. And they just passed within one of the steps to help fund a little bit more into Savvy DeFi. And so there's a lot of stuff backing this. You know, there's partnerships with Bunny and Olit, Trader Joe, Beefy, and some other cool capital moving pieces. So you can do some really cool degen plays. This allows for you to have, as I like to say, FAFO money. You know, you go put in $100 that, you know, your nest egg, it's earning yield, it's working for you. Now you got $50 that you can go fuck around and find out. You want to go find out what that new money printing protocol is all about? Now you have it. In the degen world, you know, I was thinking of different ways of how this could be done, how this could be used in real world application pieces and stuff like that, and how this might be moved. Think of now what the next move for VCs. Let's say VC, you know, someone's trying to raise 100K. A VC goes and puts 200K into Savvy. They then are able to get that 100K back. That 200K was set aside and earmarked for this protocol. So they're good, you know, and they're now earning yield on that 200K. And they're writing that 100K check to that company that's raising. So now they get all of that equity and whatever the token safes, token warrants, whatever they're doing for the product that they're investing in, they get all of that benefits. And then once the yield's paid off their loan, they get their original collateral back as well. The other degen play in this, and I'm like, well, what happened if you hit big on that crazy token? That token gives you 7 digits. You got $1 million in your pocket. What do? You know, well, everyone's gonna go buy a house. Okay, cool. But now you're gonna go put a down payment. Well, what happened if you go put this $1 million in Savvy? It's now earning yield for you. It's working. You borrow 500K. All right. So right now most strategies are in that 17 to 23% range. So that's good yield. But let's just say 10%. Let's say some things dry up or move around. But like the average for like good, solid, non-aggressive is around 10% to 11%. So let's just call it 10%. So you put $1 million in, all right, and it's earning 10% a year. Take 5 years to pay off. 5 years and a few months, you know, because there's a 10% distribution fee on the back end. All right. So in 5 years, that 500K will be paid off. Why? Because it's $1 million earning 10%. 10% of $1 million is 100K. All right. So in 5 years, that 500,000 is paid off. You went with that 500K. You went and bought a house. You bought a good solid car. You bought that JPEG you always wanted, and you went and bought that huge basketball court because you wanted to challenge Gary V and Frank D Gods at the same time. And now, you know, everyone's like, oh, you're leveraged. You're fucking, you know, you're like, no, all this is mine. And they don't need to know in 5 years, you got your $1 million back, you know. Put your money to work for you. There's some amazing DeFi products that are trying to take real world strategies that, you know, certain tax brackets use earning yield on their debt, on loans, is working for them. That's how the entire market on that is built. And so you can go do it too. One of the protocols that I then got to meet with as well was Thorchain. It's a Cosmos piece. I actually met Chad in January, and I didn't, we met at Quantum Miami, and so what's really cool is they're built on Cosmos. They're integrated with Bitcoin, ETH, BNB, and a few other chains as well to swap, earn, and borrow. So they're doing some really cool things. Really integrated with Rune as well. That's Rune is part of their piece. So, you know, I I'm just sort of happy with this. It's sort of cool. So I think that we're going to do some really amazing things. But we have some big pieces here. One of the things that we're going to try to do with Thorchain, well, we talked to Chad, founder of Thorchain, and we're actually going to have him on the show. So this is going to be really fun talking with this. But we saw one of the bounties that they have, $20,000 bounty to get 100,000 monthly active users on a wallet. We get 10,000 if we get $10,000 in Rune. If we get 10,000 monthly active users, so we could knock out two bounties. We get 10,000 in Rune and 30,000 in Rune. If we get over 100,000, first hit 10,000 users in a month, and then 100,000 users in a month. Heck yeah! Is that something we're gonna go for? Why the heck not? 30 grand. If we do this right, this will be a good payday. So we like challenges. We like pushing stuff, and we want to try to get more people involved in this. They've been building since 2018. They launched their alpha chain in 2019, beginning of 2020. They went live, and it's been sort of taken off ever since. So really cool to see it build out and just continuously build. So we are really happy that we got to run into Chad again as well. Last, MetaStreet. So this is something really cool. This is a high yield credit protocol for NFTs. They have what they call ATM, so automated tranche mechanic. So basically, earn cash back on interest generated when you or your friends start borrowing and lending on MetaStreet. So they do have referral program and stuff like that. But what this is an aggregated pool for liquidity to borrow against NFTs. So like as the example sort of goes, CryptoPunk. Let's say you have a CryptoPunk that's worth 100 ETH. All right. Well, you go and you want to get 50 ETH for it, but there's only one person's only willing to put in like 20, with certain terms. Another person's willing to put in 15. Another person puts in 5 ETH, and however you can put however much you want into this pool. You can put 0.01, and it gets pooled together, and that one person then is able to borrow against their CryptoPunk. And then the difference, though, is this isn't where you get, unless it's just one person taking on the NFT. I will have to double check on this, but I think in all aspects, their bot sells the NFT out of the contract if it's defaulted, and then the profits are split up between the user. The interest is paid back, and then all profits after that is paid back to the user. So let's say they have their 100 ETH CryptoPunk, and the bot sells it for 75, or floor's gone up even more. you know, and it sells it for 105. Well, the 50 ETH is paid back, and then that the leftover profit is paid to the user as well. So I think that that's one cool mechanic. One of the other big important things is because Ben Dow was talking about doing this, but they haven't implemented it yet. But looking at being able to still use your IP and using token gated access, they haven't implemented it yet. MetaStreet has. So you can delegate that smart contract to a wallet. So as long as that NFT is still in that contract and the terms are still good, you still have access for, um, you know, discords. You still have access via token gated events. You know, you still have the IP. You still have ownership. It's just locked in a contract. So it becomes permissionless, and so no one needs to come into the middle of it. And it's a really cool piece there. You know me, I think that speculation on NFTs has really started to hurt the floor because it almost turns into like a race to the floor in a way. Is like, you know, everyone's taking out liquidity before prices go down, and so then people get NFTs at super cheap prices, and then they dump them for, you know, just a little bit more than what they got it for. And so because they're just trying to get their liquidity back, and so it can hurt floor prices. That circle just happens, and it's really, you know, it can be a crazy thing. So um, I have thoughts on it. You know, I think that brings excitement, but at the same time, I think that uh, we have a long way to go. So this is something that's really been really cool to sort of see. Getting to talk to all of these protocols tonight, getting to meet these amazing builders, and seeing different ways that um, that people are building out. So they've lended out over $58 million. So I think that that's pretty cool since ATM launch, June of 2023. So um, that is a heck lot, you know. And so one of my pieces was, I was like, well, how do I, you know, um, how do I have some fun with it, you know? So we'll see you. Um, we'll see you all tomorrow. You know, there's just a lot of cool things going on. One thing I do want to touch on real quick, if you are in Miami, I do want you to head up Saturday. There's going to be an amazing event by the Aces. Um, and oh, where is that at? Uh, it is going to be an all day an event, b-ball all the way around. We have some cool new shiny objects showing off, so have some fun with that. You know, there's just so much cool stuff going on with the Aces. um, and this is the silly thing, such a low entry point right now, but Aces have been around for almost going on 2 years now, own a basketball team, you know, and so I'm what, 7/10,000th of an owner. But if the team hits championship, I get a ring. We know we need another ring. But you know, this is one of the really cool things about what Jordan's done, Jordan Norwood. Um, you know, and so we're seeing a lot of cool stuff. But we have Gabe Weiss, we have the Big Three, super involved in this. And Rarible and Spalding is also involved in this. So please, we will see you on the court in Miami, and have a blast. You know, this is going to be a really amazing day. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in while I tune out. And we will see you tomorrow. And as we end every episode with two things, you know, it wouldn't be an episode if we didn't. But our words of wisdom and the best, worst, knock joke on the face of the planet. And as always, it is going to be a closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth, meaning if no one knows you're looking for opportunity, opportunity can never come and knock. And if opportunity does come knocking and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. And with that, we thank everyone for listening in. We'll see you on the flip side. We'll see you tomorrow. We got some more DeFi stuff we got to get into tonight. We're going to go get into some trouble, maybe. But if you have any longs in or shorts, please look out for some market correction coming in. Yes, it is amazing seeing these pumps on Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana, even BNB. But there's going to, in my opinion, from my view, there's going to be a slight retrace. So please watch those longs. It's going to be a lot of volatility. So maybe put in some spot gridding trading bots. But try making sure that you're well protected on the margin percentage. And we'll see you on the flip side. But the best joke is, as always, closed mouth cannot, well, no, knock. Why are we forgetting this? Who's there?